Cube Defense Operation Squish has a release date, or an assumption of a release date that is coming very, very soon, guys. Like within 2 weeks, like about a week from now. Operation Squish is coming out. The devs are said so themselves that they estimate that it's going to be sometime in between the 20th and 12th. Now, if I must be honest, it's probably going to be the 12th, but we don't know. It may come the 10th or it may come later. The 10th, as of today, is just short of a week from now. So who knows? The game may be updated less than a week from today, people. That is insane. But don't go away, because there's actually a lot to talk about that you probably have not seen if you are not in the Cosmic Development Discord. So we're going to go over all this special leak information that the devs have put out right here on this channel in this video. But before we do any further, I gotta please ask you to subscribe. You don't have to, but it helps me out and it helps you find more videos similar to this. But again, that's your choice, not mine. Guys, let's get into the rest of the video. So there is really quite a lot to talk about here right off the bat. We know that there are going to be model changes for Cube Defense, and in the announcements channel for the Discord, there have been a bunch of leaks for different things, including remodels, with the remodel of the Railgun, which is honestly a really good model, really good model. I really like the model. It's definitely new and different. It kind of makes the Railgun look cool and kind of unique. I'm interested about the fact that it's got the blue neon. You don't see that with towers that are not water towers, so that's very interesting to say the least. But it does look like a good tower. We'll see how it looks in game whenever the update is put out. I think it'll look good. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on this in the comments, or your thoughts on any other thing that we talk about here on this video. And if you are looking forward to the update, please consider liking, but you don't have to. You could like, but you don't have to. Your choice, not mine. So that is really the first thing that has been leaked, and this was actually leaked quite a while ago. Now there's more leaks, and that's just the beginning. Now, the next thing that's leaked out is very controversial, actually. There's a little interesting something going on here in the announcements channel with a little video. Now, if we go ahead and play it, you're gonna see we got some little cubes grow legs and heads and arms and start walking down the path. Okay. Right off the bat, they're like cubes, little walking cubes. They're almost cute, actually. I kind of think they're cute. A little bit of animation, which is cool. I like the fact that we've got some animation now with the cubes. Now, before you freak out, because I know a lot of you probably are absolutely hating this, do know that this is a concept idea. Apparently, this isn't anything without a doubt happening. Red says, but then he goes, or is it? So maybe it will be coming. We don't really know, but it's an idea that they have in their minds. A lot of people didn't like it whenever it was first shown out. I also personally at first didn't like it, but I grew to like it. I kind of like it now. I kind of like the animation. I think it looks good. You'd have to be careful though with how you do it in the game. You'd have to be very careful where you implement it, you know. But I think overall it would look good if you were careful, I guess. Moving on further, our next leak that has been shown by the developers is incredibly exciting. This one shows Red Guy standing in the grasslands map with, lo and behold, oh, voice crack. Lo and behold, the enhancer has come back and will be released with Operation Squish. Guys, the enhancer is coming back finally. It has been so long since we've seen Enhancer, over 9 months since Enhancer was put up and unusable and unpurchasable. It has been a long time since we've seen this tower usable. It is finally back, and it'll have a use in Operation Squish. We don't know what it is yet, but we'll find out hopefully very soon with the release. So very exciting. Looks pretty much like its old self, except for that it seems to have a yellow dot on its front instead of the normal white, the little point on the very front. So very cool to see. Now, our next leak is another interesting one, and it seems to be another railgun model, but not railgun, but rail minigun. Seems rail minigun is getting its own remodel as well, which fits to theme. You can't just remodel railgun without remodeling rail minigun, or else you got two very different railgun towers, which would make sense. So we've got a new railgun coming soon as well. It looks really good too. Very similar theme as I just said. I like it. Got a little more triangles in it, which is interesting. Matching the theme of triangles with the railgun. So we're seeing more triangles now put into these towers. So that's kind of cool. Very, very good looking model, and much better model compared to the previous one. But still, hopefully it will look good like its railgun companion in game. Now, the next tower is a big one, a very big one, a very almost scary one actually. If we look here at the next leak, we see a very, very interesting, put simply, tower there. It looks like Poseidon's tomb is getting a big change, and it's not going to be a tomb no more. As you can see here, it's got the rain all around it. It's got the Poseidon's trident there. So it looks like we're going to be seeing Poseidon's tomb completely remodeled, but in a much smaller way. Like, it's going to be much smaller. It's not going to look as big as it was from what this is pointing towards. So we're probably going to see Poseidon's tomb shrink in size because of this. So that is interesting to see. I like the model. I think it's going to look good. Again, you guys have your own personal opinions, but I think it's going to look good on the water one way or another. Now, the final leak actually that we have. This is the final leak that we have, and this one's going to be kind of interesting. We've got a final leak that includes weekly hard mode wins. It looks like we're gonna have a new weekly leaderboard, which is going to be very interesting, as we're no longer going to only be seeing the top people ever, but we're now gonna be seeing some people that grind it for a week and they're on the top of the list. This is gonna be really good for the game, I think, in terms of drive to play the game, as people are gonna be more driven to try to reach the weekly hard mode wins. So that's exciting to see. So that is our last actual just leak that the devs have put out. Besides, of course, the release date announcement, there really isn't much else here. So if we jump on down into our question answer channel, we're going to be reviewing some questions that the developers have answered to help us get a better idea of what Squish is going to look like. So in question answer, there's a lot of questions that were asked, a lot of questions that were answered. We're going to be going over some of the important ones. We'll be skipping some of the non-important ones because I want to filter down this time frame to save your time as best as possible. So we will not be going over every single question asked. If you want to see all the questions asked, jump into the Discord. There should be a link on the Cube Defense page. You should be able to get there pretty easily. So the first question that is asked is egg launcher changing in any way? Red Guy responds, in means of functionality, no, but in stats, yes. Will the egg cannon be available to obtain during the Easter 2021 event? That is to be determined. It may be coming back. You may be able to get the egg cannon, the 2020 Easter Tower reward. So you may be able to get that 2021 this Easter, so be watching out for that. Because there are notable differences in the higher and lower level towers. For instance, will towers like Sun Temple still be much better than towers like Mounted Minigun? Red Guy responds, lower level towers will not be as good as high level towers. The goal of Operation Squish is to make it so the majority of towers are not overpowered, but also not underpowered. Another question is a very confusing way that they worded it, but basically, are any of the old towers going to be brought back? Any event towers, tester towers, are any of them going to be brought back? And Red Guy says that he can 100% guarantee that Heavy Turret MK2 or the Alpha Turret, Alpha Tester Tower, Reward Tower, Spike Factory, the Beta Tester Reward Tower, and Egg Launcher, the 2019 Easter Event Tower, will never be obtainable. The reason we made Dutchman and Santa Sleigh obtainable again is due to the fact that they're good towers and only like 1% of the community, or 0.001% of the community, has them. Will stars have a purpose, is a question asked by Xbox Genius. I hope Red Guy is responding by the actual stars, like the number of stars you have. A lot of you may not know this, but there was an OG currency thing that you had called stars, and basically it was you gained stars over time, and those stars just were a number, really. They didn't really have an important use. They were just called stars. they're eventually taking out due to lack of use. And Red Guy here is saying that they will return or have a purpose. However, there is a chance he could be responding to the Star of Zorvuzo and the Lord Zorvuzo towers. So that's not confirmed. We may be talking about a different type of star here. Red Guy actually responds to a question by stating that they have thought about implementing a trade system, but it's not in the works right now. That is interesting to say, interesting to see, maybe talking about skin trading, which is, I'm not sure how that would work, but okay. Will Twitter codes be a thing? That is being actively developed, as in it's coming. We're going to see Twitter codes come to the game too, which means you better go follow their Twitter account, their Twitter handle, because that's going to be putting out codes for the game. Do you believe the sending queue system could be improved for this Squish? Dirt Magrin, community manager, asks. One improvement already being implemented will be no cash earned from sent cubes. So in competitive, if you send a cube, originally you would get the money for killing that cube. You would get cash for damaging that cube. That will be changed and you will no longer gain money from sent cubes. Will a new game mode be released when Squish comes out? Red Guy responds with saying no new modes are planned as of right now. This was the 18th of January, so it's been a little bit of time. LMS will never return. You may not know what LMS is. I'll describe that in a second. Operation Squish is more about balance than anything else. LMS was last man standing. Basically, it was just defending against cubes, but you were on a very small plot of area. You had a very small amount of placement room, and you were going against 8 people. The last person alive out of 8 people won. So that was actually a lot of fun to play. LMS was a lot of fun to play. Red Guy had a hard time coding it into the game though. This was actually pre-revamp, and he completely threw it out after revamp, and he does not plan on ever bringing it back because he absolutely hated putting it into the game, implementing it. The code was not fun to put together. Will there be a new tower shop tower? Probably not, says Red Guy. Kind of outside of the Squish, but basically we will never see, from what I assume, that's like just in general, we probably will not see the tower shop get expanded in terms of towers. It's probably done with that part. Life with Aiden asks, is Squish going to be something like a small revamp? Red Guy tells us that no, it is not as big as Operation Revamp, but it is still, without a doubt, the biggest update that will be coming this year. And as mentioned before, most of the changes will consist of alterations behind the scenes and not nearly as much visual change. Now we will see a bunch of gameplay change. You're going to see a lot of stat tower changes and power. Your strategies are going to be completely thrown out the window here, guys. Strategies, all that stuff is going to be completely changed. So that will change as long as behind the scenes stuff. Is Operation Squish going to be more based on balance or squishing bugs? Both, says Red Guy. I won't mention specific things, but many bugs have already been identified and fixed when the update drops. Von Drake asks, will Squish have the idea to make almost every tower viable in modes? Red Guy says that is a plan. All towers won't be the same in power, but the goal is to make it so towers don't drop off as much as they do now. So we're not going to see every tower be completely even on an even playing field. That's not the plan. We're still going to have a slope of increasing power as you level up, but it's not going to be as steep of a slope. If Operation Squish revamps mainly the stats, will Easter 2021 be a challenge? Because 2020 Easter wasn't really that hard when people spoiled where the eggs were. Which I did that. You're welcome. Our goal is to make events challenging, yet not impossible for everyone. We hope that Squish will improve this. Community manager Dirt Magrin asks another question. Is there currently a plan to change the large-scale difference between some maps? Crimson replies, yes, larger and longer maps are getting cut in size while smaller maps will gain a bit more land to make it as even as possible with range and speed multiplier between all maps. Basically what he's saying is he wants the length of the pass and the size of the map to be much closer, so we don't have to use the range and speed multipliers that are currently implemented in the game to make cubes faster or slower depending on the size of the map, and the same for the range of towers. I asked a question asking if models of towers will be adjusted to better reflect their strength. Crimson responds to this question saying if he's unsure if size will 100% be power, which probably won't be, but Sun Temple and Sun Temple MK2 will still be the top towers in Cube, and Tombs may get a remodel considering water space on map is limited. So we're probably going to see towers shrink in size, kind of get more similar in size, but we're probably not going to see them be all the same size. They're going to be just a lot closer in size. We're not going to see some massive towers anymore, like Blazefall and Temple. They're going to, and Tomb, we're going to see them kind of shrunk down. But it does look like Sun Temple and Sun Temple MK2 may still be pretty big, so we'll have to see about that. So guys, that is the current information we have about Operation Squish. Looks like it's going to be really cool, and we're going to see a lot of cool changes coming, hopefully very soon. Hopefully you all did enjoy. Make sure to consider subscribing. You don't have to. That's your choice, not mine. As I've already said, and please consider liking if you did enjoy the video. But guys, that is everything on Operation Squish for now. Again, the 10th or the 12th or sometime in between, or maybe past if the devs decide to revamp. Hopefully you all do enjoy. Hopefully you all are very excited. I am myself. I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.